Greetings to the 9th session of Tapasya and Surrender in Integral Yoga. Before we start, let's just step back for a couple of moments of silence. Greetings to all of you. Now, today we have a change because Gitanjali is feeling unwell at the moment, and Monica has very kindly agreed to step in at the last minute. Says a lot for the spontaneity of her sessions. She can do this. It's really wonderful. Now, Monica is an immunologist by training who realized that scientific research was not her calling while she was studying at the University of Zurich. And cancer made her realize that her truth was the way of the heart, and she lives fearlessly through every movement, reading every inner message to meet the challenge of existence. She's a relentless explorer, and she feels grace to be on this inner journey hand in hand with her fellow travelers. She's also an editor of NAMAH and a very beautiful person. Okay, so the subject of her session tonight is groundlessness. So over to you, Monica.
Thank you so much, James, and namaste again to everyone. Good evening, good morning. I don't know where we are. So today's topic was groundlessness, and I think we have a perfect example, live demonstration of groundlessness today, because it was just a sudden move that I had to step in, and there is no ground, there is no certainty. So I'm very happy actually for this what happened, because that gives me a natural example of how actually groundlessness is there. Things in samsara are changing all the time. You can't base yourself on anything that you have planned. So I think that's the beauty also, that there is, every time there is something new. You plan something else, man plans something else, but the nature or the universe has a different plan, and all of us can vouch for it. All of us, I'm sure, through all these years of experiences, that we plan for something else, but somebody has a greater plan for us which we have no idea of. So that's the beauty of groundlessness, and why I chose this topic in the series, in the theme of Tapasya and Surrender, is that because I felt that if I'm comfortable with groundlessness, if I'm comfortable with the uncertainties of life, if I know that yes, that's how life is, it's uncertain, it's unpredictable, then somehow I'm prepared for it. And I don't place my anchor in that world which is full of fleeting appearances. Things change every moment. So I don't base myself there. And I think most of our suffering, virtually all of our suffering, comes when we base ourselves in the ground of samsara, where things are fleeting. The person you thought you loved yesterday now is not with you anymore, or maybe loves somebody else. right? Maybe the health that we took for granted is not as much with us now as it used to be earlier. Again, samsara, changing events. The relationships which you banked upon, you can't bank upon them anymore. So what can we expect from a world of fleeting appearances? So I thought that it is very much in resonance with tapasya and surrender, because I feel that it gives us joy. My anchor of joy then shifts to within rather than outside. And then only I can do my tapasya. This is my tapasya. A tapasya is a concentration, is an ingathering. Because whenever we are scattered, I'm sure all of us must have seen by now. Also, we have attended so many workshops, sorry, talks in the series of this particular one. So we would have seen that we actually we are scattered so much because we think that the world, the samsara, in that sense, has promises for us. Something in the world will give me lasting satisfaction. It could be a book, it could be a guru, it could be a spiritual company, everything which is part of this material world, expecting that it will give me lasting contentment, is a stupidity, is a stupidity, is a stupidity. Three times, maybe more. Why? Because we do it again and again. No, and I am amazed at our blindness, because we do it again and again. Here I go again, here I go again. So there is this curtain of blindness which comes again and again, and the curtain comes because of our attachments that are still there in the samsara, the attachments, the desires that we still have, the lack of wisdom, lack of understanding. Because once I have understood that, yes, through all my experiences in my life till now, I know now that I cannot base my joy, base my happiness in samsara. If now I have seen that wisdom has arisen, then how is it possible that I am stupid again? So I feel that the wisdom also arises progressively, progressively in time, with lots of failures, lots of ugliness, all the shadows, dirt, and filth, part of the game. I remember recently I was in Pondicherry and I met a few devotees, disciples, and one of their children were in ashram school, and we were just having like a circle, talking to each other about questions and answers in yoga. And they asked me that, okay, what do you think, this girl, maybe age around 14, 15, whenever she starts to take a dive in the pool, her legs shake, she trembles because of fear, and she feels that she's not fit, she can't do it. So what to do with fear? What can we do? It is there. Any struggle to fight the fear is futile. It is there. So I told them the best I feel I can do is keep the fear in your pocket. I know you are there and you can stay there as long as you like. But I'm not going to follow you. I will do what is required. How can we fight with our disturbing emotions? Because they are disturbed only because we have abandoned them. So I feel that when we embrace the uncertainties, now fear is part of that uncertainty. Of course, when she was on the board starting to take the dive the first time, she did not know that the fear would come, but the fear came, uncertain. At times, confidence will come, at times, fear will come, at times, maybe comparison with other people will come. What can you do? These are all part of game. So if I want to ingather myself, if I want to do this tapasya, and why tapasya? Because in tapasya we truly find our authentic self. If I'm not ingathered, if I'm scattered all around, having all kinds of desires and hopes from the external world, then I'm too scattered and I'm not my truly authentic self. So when slowly, slowly we begin to embrace all the disturbances that come upon me on the way, everything is welcome. Everything that we hide here and there in the cupboards, all is welcome, all is part of the game. So just like, like space, how, the example usually I take is how the space does not say no to a spider. No, spider, you can't stay in this room. Of course, the spider can. Space does not say. We may say, we may say, oh, how are you here? Or a lizard or a snake or anything. Space is all embracing. So our true consciousness is all embracing as well. It allows everything to be. That is why they are there at the first place, because the consciousness allows the fear to be. Yes, you can be there. Why? Because when I know how to deal with the fear, then I become even stronger, even authentic. Knowing that yes, these things will happen. This is life. Mother says that all the souls for this fun of this adventure plunged into the existence. They said, okay, let's have fun. But we have forgotten that promise that we did. So what are we expecting? We have to expect darkness. We can't help it. Why? Because as mother says, in Tara Didi's book, Learning from the Mother, she has noted down many things which mother used to tell the students in the dictations or recitations or in the classes. And one of them is when somebody asked, why are we human beings here? What is our purpose? What are we here for? Then mother tells those students, we are here so that we can turn darkness to light. So what can we expect? We will expect darkness because that's our job. That's the employment we have got. But every time when I see darkness, if I cry and shout out to the divine that how can you be so cruel? I am the only one. I am such a nice person. Why have you given me all the darkness in my life? Because your job is to turn darkness to light. What else will you get? You will not get, just like on the platter light. Of course, we all have light. The light which looks out at darkness is the light of consciousness that we have all got. That is the anchor that we have. The light which looks at our thoughts, feelings, sees, okay, what is good, what is to be rejected. That light of consciousness is what is the divine within us. So that is where we have to bank upon. And using that light of discrimination, what is a thought worthy of thinking, what is a thought not worthy of thinking. But as humans, we are so stupid, so blind in our ignorance for a long time. What we do is, we know that thoughts are bad that are whirling in my mind. We know that they are taking me down, and yet round and round and round like a hamster on a wheel, we go again and again repeatedly for years and years, sometimes 80 years, 90 years, we are repeating the same thought. So this is a sad story, but we don't have to make it sad. We can take the charge of our life in our hands, because the divine has given us the power. In each one of us is the divine. Where is the divine? Elsewhere, not sitting elsewhere. In each one of us, mother's consciousness is present. It is not separate than us. And this light we have to make use of. That now I have suffered enough, I have done enough experiences in my life, that I should now grow in wisdom and see what is worth thinking, what is worth feeling, and where is the domain I should not go now. So this is mastery of thought, in gathering. This is tapasya. Knowing that the darkness and the ugly things will come from time to time, but I don't have to follow it. I have followed that enough. Knowing that the world cannot give me anything lasting, only then we can do tapasya. We have seen, especially people who are maybe from India or maybe from outside, if you have seen yogis and tapasvis and earlier serials, mythological serials that used to come on the TV, you would see that every time you see a tapaswin, a yogi, one thing which we see is their ingathering. They are not disturbed by any outer happening. So that is the quality which is required from us if we truly want to make use of this particular life that we have. And that can only happen if I am sure that this world of happenings can give me nothing lasting. It can give us experiences. We are here for experiences. But then we say that I should get only these kind of experiences and not that. That would not work. So in groundlessness, we embrace everything. Okay, today this happened, but I had planned that thing. No matter, the universe is for me, not against me. The whole universe is conspiring so that I can grow in consciousness. And I am conspiring so that I can limit myself again and again in my comforts, in what suits me, what are my likes, oh, who are the friends I want to talk. We again and again pull ourselves back in our comfort zones. But the universe again shatters those comfort zones. It knows that you are not that limited. So that's the beauty, as if it's like a big, I feel that it's a big conspiracy going on in the universe, and it will not stop. It will not stop unless it makes us true, authentic self, that we are limitless, boundless. The difficult happenings of life will keep on happening. The universe will not stop. Your plans will shatter again and again, because we still again and again bind ourselves in the limits. So this again, as we talk of groundlessness, immediately we connect ourselves with a total surrender. Surrender is, I welcome life as it is, without any preferences. Or we can say, Mother, I give my life to you, for those who are connected to the mother. Same, one and the same. Mother, I give my life to you. Now, whatever happens in my life, I will go through it in a sincere way, making the best possible use of every circumstance of life, because I know that whatever situation you put me in, you do it for a reason, Mother. Or the universe, Mother / universe, it's the Divine Mother. So how can it be that something in my life is happening which is wrong? No. If I am really even a pinch on the path of yoga, connected with the mother, then whatever happens, we can grow through it in surrender. So the more I become comfortable with groundlessness, with the uncertainties of life, the more I surrender. I become the flow. I'm not a dam breaking the flow of river. I become the river. Then where is the problem? There is no problem. Then there is only growth, only growth. So these are a few thoughts that are coming to me right now on when I personally connect with my experiences and see what is tapasya for me, and ingathering and concentration, not depending, not uh, going through, seeking through any promise that the world gives you for a lasting satisfaction, but because it cannot. It cannot. So growing in wisdom that it cannot, and hence when you sit for concentration or a kind of a dhyana, then you see that the more purity you have, less desires you have, the more the concentration quality is very good, very good. In those moments, all of us must have observed, whenever we are relatively hopeless about the world, that no, this world will give me nothing. Maybe a friend has told you something which is hurtful, and then you tell yourself, I mean, what can I expect? It means I cannot bank upon these experiences for my lasting happiness. I have to turn within. And in that disappointment, we have a very good concentration. I have seen for myself. So when we become hopeless, or maybe a Jivan Mukta, you can say, Sri Aurobindo uses the word Udasin. Udasin, usually in Hindi, when we use, we think that, oh, it's like a sad state of affairs. No. It is seated beyond, seated above. That now you know that this world of happenings can give you nothing lasting. So you have no hopes from there. And hence your anchor is totally within. Then tapasya can happen. In gathering a concentration, more connection with your true self can happen. Naturally, as a byproduct of living through those experiences and growing in wisdom through those experiences. And surrender also grows. So they are very much linked, how pure we are, how that is how concentrated we will be. Sri Aurobindo says in Synthesis of Yoga, purity and concentration, the two aspects go together. Pure means less of impurities of desire, almost rid of impurities of desire, expectations, attachments, all of those poisons that actually spoil our true union with our authentic self. So they become lesser and lesser and lesser progressively. Concentration becomes better, and surrender automatically will become better because you are now embracing life as it is. You're not wanting things to happen only this way, then I will be happy. My sadhana should go only this way. My friends should have relationship with me in this way. Only then I will be happy. My children, my siblings, my parents should behave to me only in this way. Then I will be happy. All of that you have put aside. Then surrender is there. You say whatever it is, I am okay. Because what can I expect? So then automatically, we are guided as we embrace life more and more, the flow of life, we are guided in our sadhana. No one has to guide us. We are guided. We come across a right book, a right person for some time, maybe a right word that we read somewhere, a right country, whatever, it could be right for a moment. There is nothing really right outside, but in the sense that whatever is needed at each step of my life will be provided because I'm making the best use of it. So actually, I had thought that maybe I could take an exam, as I very happily do, because whenever I have my session, usually it's towards the end. So you have already heard so many lectures so far, so many talks you have heard. So we can share, if we want to, that what personally this means to us, and if there is any question, that okay, this is okay, but how this? If there is any question and you feel that you should share, that you can share. Otherwise, I think in crux, this is what, of course, if we begin to discuss, we can talk for hours, but there is no use. I feel there is no use. We really know enough. All the theoretical knowledge we have, we don't need more. The only thing is now embracing life as it is. I've talked about surrender several times. I have read books on surrender. Now, how am I surrendered in life at each moment? Am I the flow of life? That is what I have to see. So embracing the challenges of life, embracing all the filth that comes in life, because filth is what has to get transformed into the light. How the rotten peels get transformed to compost. That's my challenge. So am I doing that every day? That's what we want to do now. So reading maybe a little bit, maybe one line today, maybe listening to one line today, two lines today, but practically experimenting more in our life, in difficult relationships, specifically in difficult relationships, because they are our biggest, like what you can say, muscle builder. They build our muscles. So thanking those experiences which have disappointed you, thanking those experiences which have not turned the way you expected them to turn, because they are the one who are the most playing most role, the maximum role in your growth. Of course, the others which are kind, the experiences which are kind, and they are also bolstering, they are supporting, kind of giving you lots of courage that yes, but the real building, muscle building, happens through the difficult ones. So thanking in your heart all those difficult persons, situations, which you have really cried in those situations, because they are the ones which take you further. Hmm. Yeah, so if there is anything that we can take today, please, you can unmute and share. If there is a journal sharing, or if there is a question, again, question relevant to what we are discussing today. I'm not the right person to answer the philosophical questions, but practical life, day-to-day questions, how to have integral yoga in day-to-day life. What we read, how can we practice it daily? There. Yes, please go ahead.
Monica, I wanted to ask you about, you spoke about groundlessness is also accepting things how they are. But one of the things, for example, in integral yoga that we aim to do is also transformation of the prakriti or the outer life. So my question is that, and speaking from my own personal experiencing of doing it, and I think something that I have, my observation from my experiments is that once I start accepting things how they are, and it of course initially very difficult, but you keep doing it, and then you accept it, but then the aspiration for them to change or transform actually goes away. So I just wanted to ask you that if I start accepting, because for a long time there is this thing that it should be different, it shouldn't be how it is, there should be more sweetness, there should be more love, this thing. But then you see that, for example, in difficult relationship, that the other person is really, yeah, you accept where they are. But then once you start accepting it, then there is no aspiration for it to transform. You say, okay, now it's fine. So I just wanted to say, how do we balance both the acceptance, but also the transformation, which is, of course, the aim of this yoga. So just that. Thanks.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Very relevant. I'm sure many of us can connect with it. So I want to bring your attention maybe to people in your life who have maybe not lectured you much, but they have just been presences around you, like an inspiration in front of you through the life that they live, through the person that they are. They didn't want to change you. They were living the life they had to live. And yet, by their gentle presence, and they may not be even physically close to you, they were just there, right? They were living a life which, whenever you saw that life, you got inspired. And whenever you felt, even thought of them or felt their presence, it inspired, it moved your heart. You have no idea in what ways those people have transformed you. I'm sure they did not have any aspiration to transform you. That's the power of love. Our authentic self is love, and not the love that we can understand through mind. We actually can't have any image of it. We can't, whatever image right now I am having in the mind of love, how that love would be, it's not what it is. So it's beyond the mind, right? We cannot think of it, we cannot imagine it, oh, this is how it should be, because it is very, very organic, very, like, it's unfolding. We don't know how it would be. At times love can be Mahakali, at times love can be Mahasaraswati, at times it can be Maheshwari, so we don't know. So I feel that when we focus on ourselves and begin to touch our truest, deepest core, now that our attention has totally turned within, and transforming ourselves into a beautiful person, one drop of poison less in this universe, then you don't have to do anything actively. You still have to, of course, day-to-day challenges will be there and you will be dealing through them. Many anecdotes we get in the disciples of the mothers, the devotees, the people who lived around the mother. If we read stories which are very, very inspirational of people, how they were and how they were so kind, they were totally intensely in their sadhana in the earlier times, the times of Pavitra Da and others, I mean Amrita Da, all the others that were there in those times, Champak Lalji, right? They all had their weaknesses. I'm sure all of them wanted, kahin na kahin, somewhere in their mind, that no, this person should not behave the way he is behaving, right? They also had some aspiration that the things should be more harmonious. But no, what they truly did, if we read the accounts, was they were concentrated completely on their sadhana, and they were doing their work in the ashram. Rest of the things just happened as a byproduct of it. When the rotten peels are there, there are flies on it and all kinds of fungus may grow, but when it turns to compost, then you don't have to convince a flower to emerge when you put the compost. It just comes. So when we truly focus, all our attention goes within. Forget about creating harmony anywhere else. Just forget about it, because the world, in prayers and meditations, there is one prayer where the mother says the outside word and the inside, which is one. Both are one. So when we truly are focused within, because everything is a mirror. Whatever I see outside, I have within, right? If I see anger outside, I'm sure I have anger within. So when we are totally turned within and working on those imperfections, offering them to the mother more and more, not acting by their dictates, what happens is, you in inexpressible ways, things change for good. You don't know how. You change people, you don't know how. You cannot say you have done it. You won't even know how somebody got inspired. Miles away, countries away. You didn't do anything. You were just your authentic self. Didn't do anything. You did not have any aspiration that, oh, this person should change for good so that we can have collective harmony or whatever. So I feel that our focus, if it can be truly, and I feel that at times we think that, oh, my focus is within, but that person is not changing, so the focus is actually not within. So it takes time until we are truly convinced that, no, I totally have to do my inner yoga. I have to be focused on that, and the outer karma yoga is happening. Of course, who can get rid of that? So by that, things get transformed. By just the fact that you are doing what is rightly to be done. So then we don't have to bang our heads on the walls for transforming other people. By my own transformation, things change outside also, because inside and outside, mother says, they are one. And so that is what is coming to me right now. Yes, Nitin, please.
Thank you, Monica. I appreciate your guidance and can fully relate to most of the words that you said, in fact, all of it. My question is this. What's mother's guidance and your perspective on, is pain and suffering an absolute necessary ingredient to go through the deepest transformation for pretty much like most people, on earth?
What is your thought, Nitin, on this?
My thought and my experience has been that the pain and suffering has really transformed, in my experience, me from within, and the people that I authentically connect to have also gone through that, and these are not necessarily people in the spiritual dimension, but also in other walks of life. When I listen to Jensen Huang, who's one of the leaders of NVIDIA, like building companies, he actually goes on to say that, I wish pain and suffering happens to you. That's my wish and desire. I have no other way to instill resilience in you. And he was talking in the context of business success and other things. But similarly, others in different walks of life, the ones that I have related to have gone through some degree of pain and suffering. Now, when others come to me with that question, I can only speak from my experience and who I, relate from. But I don't want to limit that belief with my perspective. Hence the question, is that a necessary ingredient?
Beautiful. So let me just go back again to your question. Pain and suffering. When I call anything a pain or a suffering, in that moment, what is happening is, something is happening which I don't like. Right? I may have ill health. I don't like because I want to be healthy. Right? Why has it happened to me or whatever? Or I may have loss of a loved one. Again, I don't like that. Right? So I feel that even if, like, again, this little window we see that what is actually pain and suffering and how it is helping us evolve. In one way of looking at it is that it is helping us to go beyond our likes and preferences. So again, more surrender, embracing life as it is. If ill health has happened, let's go through it. If loss of a loved one has happened, let's go through it, because that's how I connect to other people who have ill health. Otherwise, I'm totally numb to those pains. And if I have lost a loved one, now I can connect with the other people who have lost also their loved one. So I feel, as you already answered your question yourself, that as it has helped you grow, and equally we all grow through pain and suffering. And I think pain and suffering, Aurobindo uses the word like a hammer, it chisels us. So I can see that although I'm not liking it when a sculptor is sculpting the stone, the rock, it's not liking it. The stone is getting pain, but he doesn't know, the stone doesn't know, the rock doesn't know what it is getting transformed into. So I think, and in Savitri, we have one full canto on the problem of pain. I think beautiful. Everyone must read it and connect with our own pain and suffering, and how actually it is. And I feel it's grace. It's so much grace. If somebody is doing hammer and chiseling on you, that you must be, ready for it, so that the work is happening. So I think it's pure grace that if we have gotten situations which have got us pain and suffering in this life, because some work is being done. So yes. Yeah. Yes, Vijeta.
So in integral yoga, there is this like if there is too much of power and the instrument breaks down sometimes. So that is my fear. I don't know how to deal with it.
So instrument will break in the sense your body will break.
Yeah, mind break down.
You will get another body. What's the problem? Gita पढ़ी होगी आपने, है ना? You've gone through Gita. What does he say, Krishna? One body after another body after another body. But again, having said that, first of all, we have to be fearless. There is no other option. Fearless in the way that to know that body is like a cloth that we keep changing. And if I keep identified to the body too much in the sense of getting obsessed with it, that, oh my God, my instrument may break, that is just like a futile fear. It won't lead us anywhere. And so Mother says, in that alignment with that, Mother says, we must not ask for suffering. So don't ask for suffering, that, oh Mother, give me the blow, give me the pain. No. That is not what Mother recommends. So Mother says, don't ask for suffering, but when it is there, as Nitin was pointing out, when it is there, make the best use of it. The best you can do. Because some work is happening when pain and suffering is there in our life. Some progress is going to happen. So allow that chiseling and hammering and shaping to happen. Learning through your experiences, stopping all the stupidities that we have performed again and again repeatedly. But again, as you were sharing that I'm afraid that my instrument will break. To going to the worst of the situation, even if the instrument, let's say, breaks, you will get another. So in that sphere we have to be. We are immortals actually. We come again and again repeatedly. But this life that we have got, this is what we have to focus on, make the best use of. But not ask for pain and suffering. That is not what Mother has suggested.
Thanks.
Yes, Sundarji.
Yeah, just to clarify, you talk about what I could sum up in my own understanding without using too many big words which are not understood very easily by all, including me. You talk about self-observation. Now, in self-observation, there is a process which comes in. Now, this process is it's a similar process to that of a chemical process, which takes place in the darkness. So if I relate it to the psychic process which you are asking, which we all want to have, it takes place in the darkness, and you have very well highlighted the darkness which is there among all of us. Now, my question is, does it necessarily bring about the change in the process of this self-observation and self-realization, or you give whatever time, or kriya, whatever term you give, no, in the total character of the process itself? What does it do? Does it make you a benevolent person? Does it make you a very happy person all the time? That's my
Yeah, yeah.
no, just a thought.
Yes.
Please, can you?
So I would, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the question. I think I would use a very small example here. Like if there is a swimming coach and I want to learn swimming, and I'm talking to the swimming coach and I'm asking, how does it feel to be in water? Do I actually feel that I'm flying and I'm comfortable in water? Can I actually swim? Would I not drown? You know, what would the coach say?
You will throw me into the water with a jacket. They go, experience.
Exactly. So maybe not with a jacket, because truly, the coaches who are there, they
No
would
safety.
they would not ask you to wear a jacket.
Well, that's his risk. He'll be in trouble.
But the coach is there. The coach is there. So even other mystics like Kabirji, they have said that jin khoja then tin paiya gehre pani pat. The one who really, really wanted to seek and find, he found in the plunges, in the depths of the waters. So without taking the plunge, the real plunge, even if it's self-observation, that what happens when we do this process, and does it make me this? What do we have to do? We have to go through it. We have to do the process for a long time enough that I can make any observations that, okay, let me see what it did to me. Because it may be different actually. Who knows, it may be different for different people. We don't know. Like just totally entering this arena of unknown and saying like a curious scientist ready to observe, let me see when I do this, how does it change my character? Does it do anything to me? Is it like softening my heart? Is going through pain and self observation, is it softening my heart? Is it making me more empathetic to other people? What is it doing? So I feel that why not, let's do the practical of this life and have our own temporary conclusions then, after we have. And again, as we see, you would know much more than me, that as we know that one life is not enough for this practical, so many lives are required. So we cannot truly make one conclusion. We can make temporary tentative conclusions and still like hold them very loosely, because we haven't gone plunged deep enough. So I would say, like, sambal ke dheere dheere ek step, experimenting like a curious scientist. That's how we one of the ways that we can go ahead.
Yeah. Secondly, just to continue, what I understand is that I cannot change you. You are a different person. I'm a different person. I can only say what I feel, which is applicable to me as per my experience, as per my own inner call. But it is you who has to change yourself. So this aspect, it causes a lot of disharmony among so many relationships. Be it your own, inner family or outer family or friend. So what about this? You also say, okay, what do? You say, okay, take it as a learning process. What do you do?
So I think this connects with what Nandini had asked earlier regarding, that if I turn within and I have, then I see that I stop to have aspiration that other people should change. Now the other people, again, there can be so many dimensions in which we can talk about this. One of the dimension is that the other people are not other people, they are aspects of you. Mother says that whatever we see outside is a mirror. So I can take it in that aspect that, okay, if I saw something which is like a dark shadow, something in that other person, let me see is that something within me, and how can I work on it. So totally turning the attention within for the experiment, not outside. Outside is like just a stimulus that you get, like a raw material for experiment, and the experiment actually goes within. So one of the aspects is that is how we can look at it. Another aspect is, let's say, even if I want to have aspiration for that person should change for good, so that we can have a collective harmony. Now, again, holding that aspiration very loosely, because I don't know how a true harmony should look. I may have images about it, but I'm not sure that my images of true harmony. See, my images of true harmony, what are it? For example, if I have a family and there are one member, another apart from me, my experience or my imagination of true harmony, according to my biases and preferences, is he should also cook, I should also cook. When I come home, he should support me. When I go somewhere, So these are our expectations of harmony. They're very limited, very, very limited. And it is very self-centered. I am always.
But they have to be fulfilled. No, how
No,
how
but
will life continue? Yeah,
see,
it has
the
to be
thing
fulfilled.
is,
No,
but who is a householder in billions of us? Who is the householder that you will find who will say that, yes, my family has given me lasting contentment and everything is happening as it should be? We will not find a single house. Why?
yeah, that's
Because
okay.
the purpose of life is growth of consciousness. The purpose of life is not a kind of, like luxury and comfort. We lax, you would have seen, whenever situations turn very, very tricky, when you have tricky people around you with whom you have to deal very gently because they get infuriated at every instant, you will see that you also progress in that a time in your life. You learn to deal with tricky people.
That's okay. Yeah,
Another skill
right.
that we get. So I feel that we have to go back again to what mother says, what is the true aim of life? If that we keep as our inner compass, mother says the true aim of life is growth of our consciousness, growth as a human being. Then we will see that actually every difficult situation, difficult person that is happening to me in this life right now at this phase in my life is happening for a specific reason, because I have to learn something from it. Maybe a skill, maybe a skill to learn with, to deal with people who are very angry all the time. Maybe a skill to deal with people who are addicted to social media. Let me see how to deal with it. So we become more skillful. And that is life divine, as Nandini was sharing, that Aurobindo says that this life we have to make divine. So each person, imagine, if each person becomes very sensitive and skillful, I know how to deal when you have a low point, you know how to deal when I have a low point. Beautiful, no? But I'm not going there, because then again it will breed expectations that I am doing but the other person is not doing. So we are not going there. We are now, right now, what can we do? We are attending the session, we are reflecting on the theme of Tapasya and Surrender. Let me learn through it. And when we change, since as mother says, the outer situations are not different than me, they are part of me, they are extension of me, they are me, then automatically, as a result, as a ripple effect, outer situations will change, will change, will change. It's a ripple effect. Mother says, when you step back from your anger, your desire, you don't know how many ripples you create in the collective consciousness, where you give the strength to other people so that they can step back. They have no idea. Now, this is very beautiful, because they have no idea who helped them. Today in the morning, say some incident happened with me and I was able to step back from my anger. Now, I have no idea because of whose tapasya I was able to do that, because that created a ripple, no? So, and even if I'm not aware of it, it's a collective consciousness. Bodies seem separate. We think that I am different, you are different, or you are in, some London or somewhere else and I am here. How can you affect me? But we know even quantum physics tells us that this affects us. So when I step back, I do work on myself. How can it not affect people in your home, for example, but we should not expect change, because that infuriates us, that makes us always restless and agitated, and that also takes away the focus from our own sadhana. So then again, the same process starts, that I begin to expect from samsara. So this is what we have to do, I feel personally, because there we gain empowerment. When we are responsible for ourselves, we are empowered. When we expect from others to change, then we lose power. So focus on this. Whenever you are losing power, we are sure that we are focusing on other people. When I focus on myself, okay, let me see how can I go through skillfully through this situation. We gain power. So let's take that way where we gain power, where we take the onus of our own life in our hands, rather than focusing on other people and scattering away our consciousness. So totally allowing, just like space allows a snake and lizard and everything to be, dirt and filth, everything to be in its embrace. Allow the people to be, just allow them. Try this experiment. Allow the people you want to desperately change. Just for once, allow them to be. Allow them to be. It will increase love in your heart, and have totally no expectation from them to change, for them to change. Learn that they are there so that you can change.
What about
Yeah.
the conflicting beliefs and deep rooted what do you call anchoring of persons who do not want to deviate from that at all, while you think that is totally wrong?
Yeah, this is a global problem. This is a global problem. And in Five Dreams of Sri Aurobindo, I'm sure some of us may have gone through it. He says, yeah, this is a problem of global unity. And in a family, if we can't stay united because of rigid beliefs and ideas, I have a different idea, you have a different belief, and hence we are always at conflict with each other.
In all
That
spheres, even
in all
health
spheres,
matters.
yes, totally. And that Sri Aurobindo gives a solution to that. And the solution is totally living from our true consciousness, our psychic consciousness. Now, again, that's what we are talking of. That totally turn within, have no expectations from outside. When each one of us individually will grow in their authentic consciousness, it is impossible that collective harmony will not be. So that's what I would focus on. Because it's not a family problem, it's not a small problem, it's a global issue. That's why all the time nations are fighting each other, bombing each other, planning another attack. How can I, yeah, so this is what is happening.
Yeah, so thank you very much, ma'am, for your little feeble light of bringing in the consciousness. Yeah, thank you.
Any last comments, anyone?
Not here.
Yes.
Yeah, so just something, reflecting on something you mentioned earlier on how growth happens in like painful circumstance, but actually physical pain is not really the deal. Like usually we actually enjoy post physical pain because like everybody takes care of us and all that. But the real stuff is when you're in your day to day, and especially I used to think that okay, when I came to yoga, I was like, hey, I'm going to take in full ascetic turn. Now the word comes ascetic, but that time I thought that was the correct thing. Like, like I'm going to leave all this and find the right thing and all that. But then later I felt like something said, just stay where you are. Like, and now I see that it's probably Mother and Sherwin just saying, this is where you're going to like get the most juice out of the whole thing. And it is almost like I have these monthly reviews with my board or whatever, right? Like the corporate thing. Every month it was like showing me how much I can get better in accepting this craziness. Right. Then slowly, then it's almost like a review which Shiramandu is conducting for me. Can you take this? Can you take this? And then eventually it's like, yeah, you can take it, but who's really taking it? It's just, like it's so, yeah. I was saying that, I mean, we keep bashing the corporate world and all, but they probably have not just corporate world, the hardcore way of doing things. I think being in them is like a good high opportunity zone for many of us. And even if we so-called leave it, we get attract those elements somewhere in our lives. So, yeah, thank you so much for your.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, anything more? Anyone? Thank you, Yanitri. Okay, so let's close with a moment of silence. If there is not anything, let's be grateful, a moment of gratefulness for
Yes, sir.
relatively healthy bodies, healthy intellect, that we can listen to things, listen to gurus, masters, reflect upon them. We have a healthy mind, study things, make changes in our life for good. How beautiful, how grateful can we be? The body allows our tapasya, our sadhana to happen. So many things are good. So making the best of this goodness that we have in being one drop of poison less in this universe. That's the best we can do. Being grateful for the vehicle, this body, mind, feelings, the sensitivity, and the opportunities, as some of you were sharing, the opportunities for growth, the difficult situations that are there. Being grateful for the role they are playing in our life so that we can grow our muscles. So we can stop calling them villains now and they can become our friends, which are helping us grow the muscles. So thank you everyone, and wishing all the best for everyone's progress and growth.
Thank you. Same.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Monica.
Thank you.
Yeah. And see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow it's Lopa Mukherjee. And very much looking forward to that. It was an excellent session, Monica. Spontaneous as ever. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
So
James.
see you all tomorrow, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, James, sir.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone.
Mother's blessings to you all. Bye.